Okay, you are welcome back to this other section of the video. So we stopped at this was where we stopped yesterday, when we are trying to talk in the last video rather, when we are trying to talk about HTML being the structure of your website. So now we are still talking about HTML being the structure of our website, but now we are going to go into some tags. What we call tags. Tags in HTML. So we're going to go to those tags now. Tags are what we use in creating our content in our HTML page. So that's where we're going to now. So I want to just talk about some tags and look at it in our code and how we can use those tags and how we can actually access the function of those tags. So moving on, we're going to talk about some of the HTML tag and snippet. So one of the tags that is very common that we have in HTML is called what? The paragraph tag. The paragraph tag, that's what you are seeing. It's called the P tag. The paragraph tag. Like now, I said this HTML snippet is creates a paragraph using the P tag. So this tag, what does it do in your HTML page? It helps you to create a paragraph. So this is how you write it. So we're going to talk about it practically now. So let's go to our code. So I said that the first one I said is the paragraph tag. Let's go and see what we mean by the paragraph tag. Let me open this again. I'll create a new file for that I will be using to conduct our coding for this section of the training. So we want to create a new file that we'll be using to test run our codes as we go along the training. But let me not forget to correct this, add my CSS to this page back, so that we will, if you are following from the previous video, we will move this so that we can actually see the real HTML structure of the page. So I'm adding it back so that I will not go and forget. So now I want to create another folder for our project for this training. So we want to create another file for this our training that we are going to use, and I've called the file coding up training 1.0. You can see it there. So inside this folder, okay, let me just go back to the I created it. Let me create another one, so that let's delete this one out and let me create another one, a new folder, so that you will see how I created. So you just go to that place, file, then you enter the name of the folder. Then I'm giving it coding up, then underscore 1.0. So coding up training rather. Let me put the training there. A training. There's a training there. Coding up training. I'll give it a kind of difference, so it will be different from that other one I've created. So I've created the folder now. So now look at the folder now. This is the folder. So inside the folder, I have to create my first HTML page. That is a new file. So I want to create my first HTML page. And so in HTML, for you to be able to, for the system to be able to recognize that the language you are working on is the hypertext markup language, which is HTML, you have to open your file with what we call index.html. So this will be the name of your file. So when you do it like this now, your browser will be able to recognize it as a HTML file. So this is how. So I'm saving it now. So I've gotten my HTML file now. So I want to work on tags now. We're talking about tags. So I click on it now. It's taking me to where I will input my codes. I hope you're understanding. You're getting me. So I want to talk about tags now. Now we're talking about tags in HTML. First of all, when you come to your HTML page, the first thing that you do is to follow the HTML semantic. We are going to talk about it also. Is like the structure of how you want your file to be. So this is what I'm doing now. I'm creating the structure now of the website now. So now we'll talk about it. Normally they usually give it. So what I'll just press H instead of writing the code, just press HTML5. I think a suggestion should come up. Oh, it's not coming up here.